Pasuk Lamed. We're up to Pasuk Lamed. Perek Yud Gimel, Pasuk Gimel, Pasuk Lamed.
Gimel.
20.
Okay. Everybody had the turn yesterday to read? Okay. I tell you what, so Shlomo, you have a time, we can start with Shlomo.
Vayachas Kalev E'on El Moshe V'yomer Alo Ya'aleh Havei Yerashnu Okaki Yechol Yuchav La. So Kalev related to the people?
No, Vayachas. What was has? It's onomatopoeic, this word.
Oh.
Has means to silence.
In other words, it sounds like what it is.
Has.
Oh, has.
The pasuk in Habakkuk, he says the Haftarah of those who are in the second year of Shmos. Has kol basar.
Good.
Silent, be silent, all flesh.
Is that like chas v'shalom?
No, that's with a ches.
That's chas v'shalom.
Chas v'shalom. There's a saying, has mela haskir. He's quiet, don't mention
it.
it.
So kind of silenced the people.
Right. El Moshe.
And then he turned to Moshe?
No, towards Moshe. Rashi's going to explain what that means.
Okay. Well, anyway.
It means he got them silent by referring to Moshe. That's basically what Rashi's going to explain. Yoman said.
He said that. Let me see. He went up.
No, Olo Na'ale. We shall surely go up.
We
will certainly go up.
And we will acquire it.
We'll take possession of it.
Because he is.
We for sure.
We were able.
What?
Ata is
Ota means it or her.
Good.
It's a feminine pronoun.
We require it. Ki yachol.
Because we for sure are able to
We are able.
We are able.
We are able.
Lot to it.
What's nuchal?
We are able. It's a double expression.
Oh, nuchal is a double.
We are surely able.
Surely able
to overcome.
To it. It means to take care, to
overcome.
To overcome, to take possession of it. Okay?
Right.
Let's see Rashi. Okay, you have the Rashi into the first column.
Yeah, okay. Vayahas Kalev. Shtik. Quiet.
Et Kulam.
Everybody be quiet.
El Moshe.
Ma Yedaber Moshe. Savach.
For Amar. You know, so he says he silenced all of them, El Moshe to Moshe, means to hear Mashi Yadaber Moshe, what he's going to speak against Moshe. That's what it sounds like. Okay? What it means. Savach v'Amar. He cried out and said.
He clearly said, V'ki zo Govan Asamanu Ben Avram.
Right.
This is
what he said. Is this all what Ben Amram has done for us? Right, so they Hashemeya Hayasabo.
That the
listener thought
was
Hayasabo, who thought. Alright? Sheba lesape bignusai. That
it comes to relate
his Gnusa means his not disgrace.
Of him.
His detriment is the right word either. To denigrate him, right? That the listener thought that Kalev was coming now to denigrate Moshe, to speak against him.
Yeah, you're right, but it wasn't the case. Okay. And within.
Since. Shahaya mitoch.
Since. Bitok?
Bitok means since, means as a result of. Bitok shahaya belibo ma
As
Moshe.
well, okay,
They had the heart
Shehaya,
against
that
Moshe.
it was Bilbam in their hearts.
Al Moshe against Moshe.
Against Moshe, for the sake of the way the spies spoke.
Right, as a result of what the spies spoke against Moshe, so he thought, he's just coming to back them up. Right, the Kohen's coming. So therefore, Shas Kulam.
Everybody was quiet in order to listen to this
Gnusa, right?
This
disgrace, the denigration of Moshe.
Okay. Amar.
So what did he say, Lamaisa?
He said, "But hello, that behold,
Is it not?
I'm going to tear it.
No, Koralam. Hello, Koralam Esayom. Did he not split for us the sea?
Oh, he split for us the sea.
V'hoirid lanu esamon.
And he brought us down the mud. And
he is lanu esaslav. And he made he brought the slav.
Right, the
quail was a bad thing.
Well, so it depends which stage. Initially,
it depends.
When they received every evening, right? They received slav. The slav would come down and have an evening meal of roasted. I don't know. It's roasted.
I thought it was just mine.
No, it's interesting that it's actually I think
it's
a different opinion. But the pashtus from the pasuk is that every evening they received quails, the slav quails. That's what that was their evening meal.
That was only temporary because they were fed up around the cucumbers and business.
No,
the quail.
One second. There was two.
Things changed when you were looking the other way.
Was it two lots?
There was initially in Parshas Beshalach, when they first got them, they said they want to eat bread and they want to have meat. So Moshe Rabbeinu told them, you're asking for two things. One is justified, i.e. asking for bread. Therefore, you're going to get them on. The asking for meat is not really justified, but the HaKodesh is nevertheless going to give it to you, but not only at night, because you didn't really ask for something which was necessary. It's a luxury, so you're going to eat it at night. Okay,
but he got poisoned at the first.
That was the first.
But he died.
And then each person received one. I don't know how many quails. One quail per evening. I have no idea. Quails are little quails.
But it was bad meat though. It was very fatty. It got sick.
That was the first lot, though. We say. That was the first lot.
No, 1 second. Then in Parshas Baloscha, last week's Parsha, when they
complained again.
Sometime later, a number of months later. Right, they were already traveling, and I don't know, it must be at least a year later than that. Okay. Then they complained about again they wanted meat. They wanted meat.
But they're getting meat every day now.
Oh, but they wanted more meat. They had a taiva, sabu taiva. They wanted lots of meat. That's right. And then HaKodesh Baruch Hu gave them these quails till it was coming out in their noses.
So the first time they asked what they got it. Excuse me. The first time they asked what they got it. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
The second time they weren't getting enough of it. They wanted more.
Right.
And the third time up here.
No, that's not the third time. No.
Oh, you're talking about. Sorry, it's the second time, right?
No, it was only those people who had asked for it. They were killed right away, right? Before they even had a chance to swallow.
No, so that's what it says in last week's parsha, that those people lustfully, and they sort of like it says
I'll get you for that. Abasa
ben shineim, right? That the meat was still within in their teeth or whatever, and they died out of gluttony. That's what it seems. That's the implication of the passage. There was a Magefah. Yeah, showing the end of last week's. They collected so much, a huge amount. He said, then it says, Abasa idenu ben shineim terem yikores. First, Kavishim achi nishmasa yotza. So Rashi brings down the pshat over here. So everybody there. Vayach Hashem ba'am makor rabom. It means that there was a plague among the people because they had acted in a gluttonous way to try to collect as much meat as possible. And the Maisa Rashi mentions over there that the Maisa, they had plenty of meat because they had plenty of animals. Just part of the problem was, and this is Chazal say, That's one opinion.
What's
Because
it?
you know why they didn't want to shech the meat, the animals they had? Because they were not allowed to, any sheep, goats or cows or whatever, which they wanted to eat, they had to bring as a carbon. If they wanted to eat it, they couldn't just eat it and shecht it as is. They had to bring it as a carbon shlom. When they were in the desert, right, when they were in the wilderness, the whole 40 years, if they wanted to eat regular animal meat, right, then they had to bring a carbon shlomim in order to eat it. Okay? Only afterwards, when they came to Eretz Yisrael, right, then they didn't have to, the Pasuk says, it's too far for you to go every time to Shlep to Yerushalyim. Therefore, you're allowed to shecht your animals and eat it there without bringing a carbon.
Is there a cell
Now,
by
so there
day?
was a machlokes in the Gemara, but the Maisa, Rashi says, according to your opinion, the most accepted opinion is that they actually were allowed to eat meat in the desert, but they had to bring it as a carbon. Meaning, if they wanted to have a shlom and then somebody wanted to have a nice mutton chop, lamb chops, right? So he had to offer it, he'd bring his animal, his sheep as a carbon, and then he as a shlom, carbon shlom, a peace offering. And of that he had to give the fats onto the mizbeach, and the chozer v'shoik, right? The parts which are given to the kohen, like the breast and the rear hind leg to the kohen, and the rest of the animal he could eat himself. Okay?
So, after a sell by date, after a sell...
But it was a tircha. It was a tircha to do it. Yes, one second away. It was a tircha to do it.
Why?
Because they had to, every time they had to go tribe of Reuven, they had to, it was probably took at least a few hours for them to schlep to the Mishkan, wait online till the animal was shechted, and then they go back again.
I see.
So you're convinced that it wasn't worthwhile?
Yes, Yaakov.
There must have been a sell by date
On what?
on the flock. I mean, you know, and also there must have been
What's
something
it?
wrong.
The live animals.
If
The animals lived.
yeah, but
Live.
if right, but so what the question is if they had a blemish, right, a blemish,
Right.
so you could eat them. So they're not totally divorced from not eating the meat.
So what do you do with a
opinion.
blemished animal? I don't know. It's a good point. I don't know. Because obviously the animals that the carbonates they had to bring, maybe they kept it for other things. I don't know. But that's the what do they do with the Bali movement? I don't know. With the blemished animals. That's a good point. I don't know. But the Maisa, the Gemara says that they have to think, by the way, Jacob, it's not so safe. Got that thing around your neck.
No, I was just looking at that. I said,
I don't want to lose. I keep losing my thing.
That's safe ways that makes you shoot. Okay, fine. Let's continue.
That's how we reduce our class.
You strangle yourself, you hold
And
it.
Chas v'shalom. Okay, let's continue. Anyway, so this is what Moshe Rabbeinu, instead of criticizing Moshe, on the contrary, Kalev started praising, but he managed to get them everybody quiet.
I didn't come here
He was
to
just-
criticize Caesar and praise him.
Praise Caesar came to
Criticize him?
Friends, Romans,
Countrymen,
countrymen,
I have
lend
not-
me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not
not to
to
praise
Yeah.
him.
Oh, okay.
Shakespeare's good for Americans
Good.
or Shakespeare.
Oh.
Anyway,
Now, was that Brutus?
No, A2
no, Mark
Brute.
Antony.
Mark Antony.
A2
Oh,
Brute.
Mark Anthony. He was supposed to be the clean hands.
A2
I wasn't involved in this thing. Right?
Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see later.
Destiny.
Okay, right. Oloi Nale, continue. Have you still more of the Rashi to do?
I feel Bishop Beeb.
Bashamayim. Right, we'll go up even to heaven.
Even okay.
Even if
in
HaKodesh Baruch Hu said,
and
we're for us to go up to heaven.
said,
V'hu oimer asu sulamos v'alu, make ladders and come
make
up to
ladders
heaven.
and come up there.
V'alu sham, natzliach b'chol dvar. Whatever
You'll
HaKodesh
be
Baruch Hu
successful in all
in his
your
words.
doings.
Words, meaning, whatever HaKodesh Baruch Hu tells us, and this is
You'll
the
be
important lesson
successful.
which Kalev is telling them.
Right, you'll be
Whatever, you can't
successful.
make your own cheshbonis, are we going to be successful in conquering that land or not? HaKodesh Baruch Hu said we will conquer the land, so it will be. And if
Right.
HaKodesh Baruch Hu would tell us to go up to Shemayim, right,
We will.
so it will
Will
be,
be.
right? So therefore, okay.
Right.
Now, next
Right.
Rashi, Vayahas. Rashi goes to
Okay,
explain the words.
again, that's in the way of silence.
Lashon shtika, right? It's an expression of silence.
Right.
V'chein.
And therefore.
No, but similarly.
And similarly.
Has kol basar.
Sounds more flesh.
No, has means quiet, all flesh.
Quiet, all flesh.
This is in the beginning of Habakkuk.
Oh.
It says that he said, has kol basar. Ki Hashem
Haski lo.
Lo lahaski. Quiet.
Because
that it should not be mentioned.
So
the
way of the sons of man,
no, people, that's
people that want to be quiet.
The Shatek Agudas wants to quieten a group of people.
They join an organization. No,
the Shatek, once a person wants to quieten a Agudas Anoshim, a group of people, he says,
oh.
It's actually with the sin. Okay? That's when it's quiet, and that's how you think. So the has. Has. Right? It's onomatopoeic.
Okay, no, that's what it is.
It's okay? Yaakov. Pasuk Lamed Aleph.
Ha'anashim, but the man.
And the men.
The man, Asher Alu Imor.
So by the way, note over here, before we still read the passage, as yet the people, the spies, have not explicitly said anything bad about Eretz Yisrael. Just Kalev saw where they were heading, and that's why he says, Vayaz Kalev es Amel Moshe. He said, you think this is all this, he knew where they were heading. So now, when Kalev had quietened them and said, yeah, we're going to manage, don't worry about it, even though all these seemingly things are against us, we're still going to manage. At that point, Va'anoshim, carry on.
Asher Alu Imor, that went up with him,
Amru, they said,
Lo nochal alot, we are not able to go up, El Ha'am, against the people, Ki chazakhu mimenu, for they are stronger than we.
Bas, right, they're stronger than us.
Yeah, Bas.
Us. Now, menu, so Rashi's going to point over here.
Achla Yoshbeha.
Wait.
Wait, Azakhu mimenu, they are stronger than we. Vayachol Klapei Ma'ala. Amru, as it were against the Most High, they spoke, that is, stronger than he.
Meaning,
that's from Sota.
Right, menu can mean against us, right, than us, because of whom it's stronger than us, or menu can mean it's stronger than him.
Right.
And who is him?
Shem.
Right? That's what Rashi means. Kabiyochol, Klapei Ma'ala Amru. They spoke against, refer with reference to the one on high, once HaKodesh Baruch Hu. Means it is too strong for him. Means HaKodesh Baruch Hu is unable to produce the goods.
How can you even say that?
So you see exactly, this is exactly what Kalev wanted to happen, because he didn't want anything. And at this point, the Meraglim showed their true colors.
Right.
Right? What did they say? We're not going to be able to. You would Kalev say, for sure we're going to be able to conquer. No! We disagree. It's not so. Okay? It's too much for us, too much for him. That's basically what it was.
So his Caleb was doing all the
now, and this is
fair play, and Joshua was keeping out of it, yes?
Who?
Joshua.
Yeah.
Not interfering.
Right.
So what do you learn from that? What do you learn from that? Rabbi, what do you learn from that?
I'm confused
Rabbi,
by this.
Yes.
What do you learn from that? Why did
Why are you sure? Because Yeshua...
It's neutral, it's been neutral.
No. From the onset, he had shown that he was against them. He was... Kalev
wants to work with both.
had outwardly shown that he wasn't against them. Right? And therefore he was still one of their bodies, and that's why they let him speak.
Right.
That's what the Chofetz Chaim explains, the Pshat. That Yeshua was openly against them. So they wouldn't have let him speak anyway. But Kalev, on the outwardly he showed that he was with them, so therefore they let him speak.
Right.
But then, once he opened his mouth, he showed, listen, I'm against you guys, I disagree with you. Then it became a straight verbal battle between the two of them.
Yeah.
Yeshua, Kalev said, we're going to manage, we're going to be able to be successful. HaKodesh Baruch Hu said, we can do it. Right? We can. Yes, we can. Right? Remember who said that. Okay?
I do.
Yeah. And he couldn't. But HaKodesh Baruch Hu can, right?
Maybe he did. But I'm confused because Egypt was the number one power of the world at that time, and it was just a year ago that they had seen Egypt destroyed by Hashem. How could they fall for this?
So this is what was the thing, and this is where the Yetzirah gets into a person and says, they didn't deny that Etzem HaKodesh Baruch Hu was able to do it. It says, but HaKodesh Baruch Hu was not able to do it for us. We've blown it. Because ostensibly we should have been allowed, if we'd been good people and we hadn't done any Averos, we would have been okay. But since we did Averos, we served the golden calf, right? We've blown it. We're not deserving of it anymore. Therefore, it's not going to work.
Isn't that the same thing that
So you
Yaakov
would say
Avinu
that it was really a
Sorry?
problem.
Isn't that the same thing that Yaakov Avinu says?
Yes, and therefore, but that's different. What was the thing is, he didn't say, I'm not going to be successful. What he did say was, he prayed to HaKodesh Baruch Hu, please, HaKodesh Baruch Hu, I don't know if I'm going to be able to